What's good? This is Tony Boswell. Welcome to Wordisbond TV, the podcast. I am so pumped to get this going. It's been a long time since I've been able to yap in your ears. And, you know, I couldn't not have that. I had to be a voice inside someone's head. So I'm back with a new show. And, you know, the universe decides it has different plans for you than what you planned on doing sometimes. And sometimes you're lucky enough to already have a premiere episode in the bag, but then you actually have a schedule, a really amazing guest who happens to be one of your really good friends, who's one of the funniest people you know. Come on the day that something absolutely insane happens and makes major news. So luckily you get to have them on and you can talk about it. No introduction needed for the real heads, but a lot of you won't know who this is, and he's the man. This is one of my good friends, from comedian, host of Pod Damn America, Jake FLores. Jake, thanks for coming, dude.
Hey, what's up? I think it was a great idea to establish this as an alibi that we are definitely not in Utah right now and had no idea what was happening today.
Yeah.
Hello, good to be here. Welcome back from the dead, Tony Boswell. God damn, you scared me for a moment that you weren't going to be a podcaster.
Yeah, I know. You were going to have to stop hanging out.
I know. There's no social benefit for me hanging out with you anymore, you know, so I'd have to be like, oh.
I was kind of shook when last time we hung out, I went in for the secret handshake and you were like, can you even do this anymore, bro?
We changed it.
And you were right. And so I actually won't get the updated handshake until I upload this tomorrow. Actually, I don't think I even get it until one person listens. Once there's been confirmation that one person has downloaded this, I will get the email with the instructional video of the new secret handshake, and I will be able to socialize with other podcasters once again.
Yeah, it has to be a real human. It can't be like one of those SoundCloud messages you get that are like, hello, I loved your track podcast about the Joker 2. Yeah. What a fire track. I'd be interested in producing it for you. And it's all written by AI and shit. Anyways.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some people don't know that the real resources that AI are dumping itself into are really poorly written emails that also have small details about podcasts that the AI listened to pitch you to have a guest on who you would never have on in a million years. Not even because they might not be relevant to anything, but also they might even be like completely antithetical to what you're about. So AI is fucking crushing it. Fuck that freshwater, fuck those communities, I guess.
Yeah, do you get those? I got one a while back that was like, it sounded like a person almost, because it was picking through a bunch of jokes we did on the show. And it was like, the Curtis Sliwa Street Fighter bit was so funny, which is why you should have the CEO of this healthcare company on your show. And I'm like, we're like a Luigi Mangione type thing going on here. That's the exact type of person we shouldn't have on the show, or wouldn't, I guess. But you
just have him on the show and you're like, so where can people find you throughout the day? What's a good home address for you? And that's the entire episode.
Yeah. We record in person. Please be at this exact address.
Listen, I was gonna wait for this for a minute, but I gotta be honest, like we shouldn't be joking about things like that right now. I spent some time today. I saw something today on the internet that really shook me, and I want you to kind of brace yourself. A little bit of a trigger warning. This is going to be upsetting. I'm just worried about the youth. So we really shouldn't be making jokes about things like that. After seeing this, I'm going to go ahead and play this for you, Jake. For those listening, we're in the interior of a In-N-Out, a popular Southern California food chain, known for their delicious, affordable burgers, well-paid serving staff, and Bible verses on their cups and fry tins. And they are calling out numbers. They are calling out numbers for people's orders. Yeah, here we go.
68, please.
Now you think what you're about to witness is there's lots of loud, seemingly teens who are terribly disappointed because they were anticipating a number, and the guy called out 68 with some gusto. He knew that they were waiting for the number, and he knew this wasn't the number they were going to do it with. So here I am, and what happened next is pretty shocking. Little time going by. Sorry, I forgot how long this was. Looks like a new number is about to be announced.
Hold on.
6, 7.
Yeah, I regret to report that they were not anticipating 69, but they were in fact anticipating 6-7.
It was going down.
Yeah, he skipped 67. And when it finally came there, it was received with huge applause. I was upset because I thought they were doing what generations of Americans have been doing, which is cheering for number 69.
Yeah.
But they didn't. Are you familiar with 6-7?
No.
Jake Flores.
No. That looks like a high school, like a bunch of kids. What does 6-7 mean to them?
What does 6-7 mean to them? Yeah. Well, apparently it means everything. My 12-year-old has informed me that 6-7 at best is a reference to a song, a rap song where the guy says something 6-7, and it seemingly to me is referencing like murder, but apparently it's just like skibbity.
Yeah.
Apparently it's just like that type of thing where it's like, how's your day? 6-7. What are you doing later? 6-7.
Man, I'm glad I know this so that I can look cool and youthful as I try to continue to be relevant and sell my wares to the children of the world.
And I was on board for a stupid thing because obviously I'm not doing it, but I kind of appreciate a petty thing that's harmless, that's driving teachers nuts. When I went to my kid's parent-teacher conference in her band room, he had a list of banned brain rot, like brain rot you're not allowed to bring up in class, and 6-7 was on there. Okay. And I was fine with that. I'm like, this is great. It's even getting to like the cool band teacher. But the problem is it is now impeding on 69 jokes.
Yeah.
And I'm worried now. Now I'm worried.
Those kids don't even know. They don't know the pleasure of a hard day's work and a 69 nice joke you tweet at your friend at the end of the day. These kids are getting they're the worst generation yet, I tell you. Honestly, do you ever catch like stuff like 69 nice and then realize like how long we've been making these jokes and like kind of realize like, oh, this is old people shit now.
Well, I think that one has existed since like 1970.
But
they were like, yo, last year ruled, and it looks like a sex position a little bit. Let's run with this.
Yeah, but it had like a fucking like the thing that happened with Borat, where it was like, people thought it was funny, and then they were like annoyed because it was people said it so much.
It's much bigger than Borat. It's bigger than Borat. It's bigger than any meme, anything we've ever. This art because our parents did this one.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. The Borat thing it's a recursion effect because there was a valley, right, where it was considered very annoying because it was a frat guy joke, and then it came back ironically like years after the original Borat film and became like a comedy nerd hipster thing to ironically do Borat, and it's like ebbed and flowed like that. And I feel like our generation 69 thing was like kind of making fun of like boomers
absolutely I do like to imagine like a boomer or a millennial or maybe even a cross-generational team of a couple bros in that In and Out who, when they did say 69, they tried to like out laugh that cheer. And they were like, they don't even know what funny is. This is the funny one. This one right here is funny.
Now that I understand, this is very funny that there are a bunch of kids like 6'7" because it's a skibbity toilet ass joke. That
it's a skibbity. Like
I like to imagine there's like a couple of guys in wizard robes on the side, and they're like 666, it's coming up, but it never comes up.
Look at this group of kids one more time. Like, look at this group is amazing. I'm like, it's funny because it's straight wholesome at the end of the day, even though it could be a reference to murdering somebody.
6, 7.
Did you see the group? Look at this. It's like 40 kids in an In and Out.
Yeah, first of all, what the fuck is going on there, man?
It fucking rules. And yeah, I mean, hopefully one day we can go get fast food and laugh twice. But I don't know, because what I see now in our generation with comedians is what I consider to be a hack joke, a lazy joke, is the joke that 69 is no good, that 69ing isn't cool and good and fun.
It's not even like
that joke sucks.
That
joke sucks.
It's not even, I don't think it's a joke. I see this on Twitter all the time. I see it's a sincere take. Like it is something like it's kind of a hot take. Like the person feels kind of special by saying like, hey, look, can we all admit this position sucks? Like as if they're speaking out against the norm being that 69 is good. And like, I gotta be honest with you, I fucking love the 69 position. I don't know. It does something to my ADD where it's like enough shit. It's not too much shit where you can't concentrate at all. And it's not like all focused on one thing. So you're just like, this is happening. I'm going to bust. It's perfect.
It's the best. It's the best. And my theory is, I think that people are doing it wrong. I think people are probably doing it wrong. I think people need to understand that you can go ahead and like you can it still counts if you're like both on your side. There's all kinds of things you can be doing here. And like I don't know, you're just doing it wrong, and that joke sucks because like you said, like it's like an ultimate stim. You got like earmuffs on. You're focused on what you're doing. You're also receiving something very nice. And also it's like it's one of those kind of like it's almost good because you know what, you don't need to come from sex all the time, all right? Doesn't always have to be actual. It doesn't have to be penetrative sex all the time, all right? Do some hand and mouth stuff. It's good for you, and don't knock it. And I want to know what your partner thinks about that.
Yeah,
really, what they really think about that.
What is the 6'7" position? You think? What is those Zoomer kids doing when they're in their little Riverdale hot rods? That's where one person is the other. How do you be a 7? You just have a really huge boner. You're upside down.
I think that you're more focusing on like finger blasting than mouth stuff. That
would make sense because it's high school kids.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Which is cool. I mean, good for everyone should be doing finger blasting. Not high school. I'm not saying high school kids. I'm not saying that high school should be finger blasting. What I'm saying. I guess I don't know. Talk to your parents. But yeah, it's really wild that these kids are so casually referencing murder in times like this where we I don't know, have you heard of any have you heard of any good murders lately?
The 6'7" story is the craziest thing I've seen all day. Let me tell you that.
The 6'7" is the craziest thing you've seen all day. And by the way, today is September 10th.
It's so funny. 9/10.
September 10th.
6'7". How about 9/10? How about 9/11? You damn ungrateful children.
Oh, that everyone's hitting that joke tomorrow. I just want everyone to know that it's a happy coincidence that this is premiering on 9/11. I'm not trying to make that joke, okay? All right.
That's another one.
The explosion you hear in the beginning of the show is going to happen every show. All right? It's not just a little 9/11 treat for you.
that's another thing that's just so millennial humored out. Like, it's fun. I do it every chance I get, but I'm starting to notice that like we're old now, and that's like
Yeah.
but there is gonna be a point where young kids are like,
Oh, it's already
Uncle
happened.
Jake and his 9/11 and 69 jokes, it's
'Cause
corny or whatever.
Because now it's like, dude, you care about this enough to make a joke about it? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just actual history to young people now. It's not like a thing from our nostalgic youths.
They're
Anyway,
like, are you like my mom who was in high school when it happened or something? And I'm like, shut up. Mind your business. Yeah, but what actually happened today was and we're not going to dwell on this, but it is something that needs to be talked about because it happened. The assassination of the one and only Charlie Kirk.
For those, what's the assassination of the bastard Charlie Kirk, or what is that phrase I'm looking for?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about this plenty because I have a fucking stupid leftist podcast. So, but it just happened, so we might as well burn a little fuel.
So
here.
We got to.
It's
for those
insane.
who are unaware, what happened was Charlie Kirk was doing one of his "Prove Me Wrong" sessions at a college in Utah, and the one where he sits there and answers questions on display in what some might at this point maybe consider an arrogant fashion, and this is the part that is just so incredible to me, is he's being asked about mass shooters. He's being asked about, trans mass shooters. They've been, every mass shooter is a trans person according to the right wing. He says the person asks him, how many mass shooters do you think are out there? And he says, well, counting or not counting gang violence. And then his entire neck explodes.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I saw the straight up, like, the really good shot of it, and like, something that was so funny today, or not, I mean, funny in a fucked up way, is like just every once in a while you'd see someone that's like, please, that footage is so jarring, and it's like, have you been ignoring all the blown up children
exactly
in your feed from Gaza for the last fucking couple of years? Because like, I'm completely desensitized to everything from watching that shit. Not to mention Charlie Kirk is an evil fascist, so like, watching his neck explode, I rewound it like 10 times. I fucking played it backwards and stuff. It was so good.
I felt like I was in a fever dream. I didn't believe it. I was like, this is, and then I had to watch it several times to kind of confirm it. And regardless of the things I've seen, all the tragedy we've been watching live streamed from Gaza, it was still shocking to see that in such clarity. With the colors were just so rich against that white shirt. It was pretty jarring. It was wild, but. And it's funny because people are saying these things. They're like, well, he's just a commentator. He's like you can't take out the commentators, and that's paired with all of these news outlets reporting that he was so important to the MAGA movement, right, as the leader of TPUSA, that they didn't put him in the cabinet because he's more important as this messenger. So this was much more like this was like assassinating Himmler.
Mm-hmm.
It was more akin to that than just some commentator. So it's wild, and I feel bad for everyone that was there, really, because that's to see that in person is going to be fucked up regardless. But this is, wow.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just kind of black-pilled. I was just watching a fucking like a TikTok guy he did like a front-facing camera from the crowd while it was happening, and like, it's all so like Eddington or Southland Tales-ish type shit. He keeps it. It's crazy. He's like, a shot has been fired, yada yada yada, and then he just, every third line he plugs like, elder TikTok 19 though, right? Like and subscribe. Anyways, a shot's been fired. Like he's mid watching a historical assassination and can't stop like hustling and plugging shit in the middle of it.
That's wild.
Fucking surreal. So it doesn't
That's
sound like
wild.
it doesn't sound like it phased him that much, but it's not as though he speaks for the entire crowd. I'm sure it was very scary and a lot of the people there. I mean, that's the other thing is like I'm gonna be like, I guess we should say like, oh, there were probably innocent people there. Who the fuck is going to watch Charlie Kirk talk that isn't out of their fucking mind already? I guess if you're a college student, maybe you're like susceptible.
I mean, there's I think a lot of people show up to those things. I think a lot of people who are like, like libs or even like leftists will show up and hopefully try to get in the line and ask the gotcha question, try to like really own them. Even though they know damn well that that's not going to end up being posted anywhere, and they're not going to own him because he had that mentality where it's like, you can be like, well, here's a fact, and he'd be like, that's not a fact. And like, so I don't know.
That doesn't care about your feelings. I feel like there's like 10 guys like that, and they all kind of exist as one blob of annoying conservative white dude in my mind. But it wasn't Ben Shapiro and it wasn't Steven Crowder. Those are two similar guys.
Yeah. And what was sorry, I just had a wild train of thought. But what was wild to me is, somebody who's been covering right-wing fringe stuff for a long time and has been, seeing these subdivisions people. I did not really realize how much he was like in touch with like 22 and below. I did not realize that it was like there were like high schoolers there. There were kids that cut school to go to that. And like that was pretty jarring. Knowing that there was the biggest swing, this last election, in Gen Z towards Trump, They're
like 6'7", Charlie Kirk.
Exactly.
Facts don't care about your feelings. 6'7".
6'7".
No cap. Like what you just said. I mean, it's a good point. Like the thing where they sort of then go, hey, he wasn't like, he doesn't deserve to be treated as a soldier in the front lines. He was just a commentator. Well, simultaneously, what they're going to accuse the left of, or everyone left of them, is dangerously manipulating the minds of children, right? So look at like if you believe that is a thing that you can accuse someone of as a political danger, then it has to apply to him too, right? And the fact that he has like people come from high school to come watch him, you should look at that and go, this is a little alarming that this person has captured this demographic so well. And that stuff comes from the college speaking, like campus tour stuff, specifically Turning Point USA, the org he worked for. That shit is just dark coke money, like funded into trying to make the world worse for people. He
didn't even work for. He started it himself when he was 18. He started that. Like it's him. They gave this 18-year-old fascist money, and he's now. I mean, he was 31, 30,
31, 31. Dirty fun.
So he's been doing this. So he's been doing this for a while, and he's good at it. But also, I think a lot was what I was going to get at is like. But then I also see things like 6'7". I see these kids on, I see these kids on TikTok who are like more radical and all this stuff. And then I realized like, oh no, you only know the point of view of these fucking nerds.
Yeah.
You only know the person who went out of their way to let you know that actually, I like Donald Trump this time. When I was 14, I didn't like him. But now that I'm 18, I like him. I see what he's going to do for men and for white families. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's the only nerd you're going to fucking hear from, Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, that stuff is like not really like too reliable in my opinion. Yeah, it's funny because I do want to like let people know this show is going to be not this all the time, but it had to be this today.
It happened like a few hours.
It had to be this today.
So
I
touch on it.
It had to be. I was. It's funny because I work from home now, and it's like I gotta try to stay focused. And today I was like, I can't get work done at all. I am on my phone, like hard. I was watching a news feed from Utah. Listening to the way these people were talking about it was just why I was useless today. So today this had to be this. So yes.
But real talk though, like, you know, and you've done your time in the left podcast minds, right? You've paid your dues. We're to chill out a little bit now, right? We're to like actually have conversations on podcasts like people used to before we had to start before we had to like deputize ourselves into like covering the fucking fallout of the world as it unfolds. You know, used to be a time when this was for fun, right? We're gonna get back there a little bit, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, it was funny because it's like that happened today, and like Alex and I almost like we turned to show making status. We were immediately like, oh shit, Kirk got and it immediately felt like we were like planning a show, but then we were like, you know what, this is just friends, bro. We're just friends talking. This isn't work. This is beautiful. And it made me I love that, and I love that. But yeah, so thank you. Lots of shows they take on sponsorships and stuff like that, and I don't want to do that. I'm gonna hopefully everyone's gonna listen to this and join the Patreon and give me all of their extra money. Don't worry, you don't have to listen to those suggested prices. You can always give me more. But if I did have an advertisement, it might be from a gambling company where you can get addicted to gambling online. But since we don't do that, Jake, one thing that we do as friends is we get together and we gamble IRL. We go touch grass, and by grass I mean the felted top of a poker table.
Oh yeah, it's green, baby. And I have AstroTurf on my porch now for what's next to where we play poker. So there's that other type of fake grass.
True.
But yeah,
it's true.
That's what we do for fun. Yeah. And you know what? You should subscribe to my new gambling app though. It's bet JF67. I don't know, fuck it. I should get a scam together. No, we gamble. You want to talk about that? Talk about poker a little bit?
Yeah. You mentioned poker earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, that's funny. It's become, we haven't done it in a minute. We need to do it again soon, but it's become one of like my favorite things because it is this thing where you get to be a little competitive, but it's like low stakes, and it's like with your friends, and like taking $10 from your friend is fun. You know,
especially if it takes like 4 hours, like it's fucking nothing.
It's so fun. It's so fun. So yeah. So thanks for reminding me that I enjoy poker and I enjoy our games. But yeah, you had mentioned it earlier.
Yeah. So you asked me earlier, kind of like an interesting question, which is like, what's something I've been thinking about lately that's like off brand for me? And I was thinking about this, and I was kind of having a hard time with it because I don't know why this is, but the brand that I'm presenting online is my actual interests. There's not a lot of what do you call it? Inconsistency. I like left shit and science fiction and wizards and all this stuff that's in my like Instagram feed or whatever. It's shit that I'm into, right? Music and whatnot. But the one thing that's like a hobby of mine that I really feel I didn't really understand how off-brand it was until it like made me understand is fucking poker, because outside of our little home games, like I have all that shit because I'm kind of like, I like the game poker like the way that people like chess. Like I read books about it and stuff, and like the strategy to it I find very interesting. And there's this whole subculture of people that are like really into it. You can play a casual game and then you play with somebody who knows all this complicated math about pot odds and bet sizing and stuff. I'm into that world. And so because I'm into that world, I go and I play at a casino every once in a while, or like a big like tournament or something where you're there all day, you throw down $100, and then if you're really lucky, you can make it to the final table and win some money. It's just like, can
you smoke in these casinos? Can you smoke in these California casinos?
Not in California. You got to go to Vegas if you want to smoke at the table.
Fucking bullshit. I don't even smoke, but I have like smoked at a poker table, and that shit ripped. It was awesome.
It's fucking cool. No, the casinos in California are garbage. They're so pathetic. It's really funny because like that part of what a casino is like all this glitz and glamour, and like, you know, it's kind of like mind bending because it's like a fucked up place that's like trying to steal your money, and it's just like bright lights and
It
loud
always feels
ringing
like
ding
the same
sounds.
time of day.
Yeah, and it's like trying to fuck with you. But in California, they just dispense with even like that, like the weird, like entertaining glitz and glamour. It is just,
You know it's 2 a.m. and you feel awful about it.
yeah, it's old men. Everyone's a cab driver or some weird fucking thing like that. Everyone has a comb over and this balding, and the smoking happens outside, like pissed off, you know, like something just happened and they're just sucking one down.
I'm really waiting for the part where this is not on brand. I'm really waiting for that part.
Those guys, totally. Every time I see them, I'm like, you're me in the future. I get it. It's more that it's sports. It's like sports adjacent. I'm not a sports guy like at all. It's like sports bar adjacent. The men are very conservative. A lot of them very much have like off-duty cop vibes. It's, you know, if politics come up at all, it's shit where like I don't get involved in these conversations because it will never not be me yelling at them about that. They'll never stop it. The politics are so far to the right of anything someone like me would believe that I just have to go in there undercover and pretend like I'm someone else or whatever. And the vibes are like, also like socially, like the old men are just like making these really hacky old man jokes about like my wife nagging me. Oh, don't let your wife know you're here for another 4 hours. They poke you like you're gonna be like, yeah, I also have a nagging wife from the 1950s who hits me with a rolling pin. I'm just like, my world is so far from these people.
Listen,
that's what I feel out of water.
Listen, I have like a wonderful partner. I have like awesome people I see. The one thing in my life I'm missing so bad, I need a bitch wife so bad. I need it. These guys, it seems like it's what they live for. Like when you run into a bitch wife guy, it is their everything. Like I unfortunately, you know, anybody who I'm involved with is like, I'm glad you're playing golf today. And or can I come with you? Or, you know, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys, they just get so much joy out of being like, my bitch wife's like, where are you at?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I know.
She's like, she wants me to hang out with my fucking kids. I'm like, babe, I can't hang out with the kids. I am drunk golfing.
There's something deeply psychological about it, because if they really hated the bitch wife that much, they would just not have, you know, just get a divorce or whatever. But it's like something about having this constant thing to blame everything on. That's got to be what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
I'm not unhappy. It's just my damn wife. Am I right? And they say it as if like we all live like this, because it's like, it's easy to hide inside of that sort of thing when it's just conceived of as the norm. And I'm like, I'm polyamorous and I have a cat, and like, I fucking, you know what I mean? Like, if I were to actually try to connect with these people, it would blow their mind or piss them off, or just be a conversation that never ends. You know, I kind of like, one guy was kind of young one time, and we were like kind of talking about shit, and I mentioned like doing comedy, and that led to like, how do you make money? And then I was talking about podcasting, and I was like, shit.
Yeah.
He kept asking me about my podcast. I was like, listen, man, I'll send it to you, but you're not going to agree with me. It's like left-wing shit. And he was like, man, you know,
I'll send it to you, but you got to use the Alpha Male discount code.
yeah. 6'7". He's 40 years old. Has no idea what I'm saying. But like, you know, he was like, you know, I'm pretty open-minded. And I was like, I'm a communist. And he was like, okay, I'm probably not gonna. And he was the youngest person in the casino. So like, there's no way. I have to just not talk about that shit with people in there, or just lie. Like a lot of times I just lie, and I'm just like,
I love
dude,
making shit up, being the most basic version of myself. Like, what do you do? Oh, I work in editing. I edit educational videos. Yeah, but imagine
I'll just straight up pretend to be like a patriot in there.
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, we are under attack. You know,
we just talk about freedom. We actually identify a lizard person every week.
Mm-hmm.
We give people their address, so they can go, you know, handle that. But imagine just like being the guy that's like, hold on, let me ask the boss, and it's a group chat with your partners.
Yeah,
Because like dudes do that. Like, I don't know. Let me run that by the boss real quick, and it's their wife.
well, let me run that by the council.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Vampire.
Let me run it by the board. Let me run it by the board real quick and see how that looks.
The board
see
of
how that
trustees.
looks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been going to casinos.
Yeah, I mean, I just like have a little for fun, you know. I just give myself like $100 a fucking month to go gamble with. If I lose it, I'm gonna bust out. I wait the next time. I'm trying to go crazy with it because that's fucking that's shit that happens to people. But like it's I like it's fun. I like the game. Like so, even if I fucking burn $100, I'm like, all right, whatever. Some guys go to strip clubs and do that. That's for me.
Go to strip clubs. Go get a fucking burger and a shake in Los Angeles.
Right, everything.
Am I right?
$1 million.
Am I
right? Have you heard of these Erewhon smoothies? They're $26. My daughter made me get one. Now the casino is going crazy. This guy's killing, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yes, $26 Erewhon. Every old man knows about that. Why? By the way, it's because of their daughter.
Yeah.
Their
bitch daughter.
My bitch. She takes after my bitch wife.
She said I need the Casey Musgraves. The Casey Musgraves Erewhon. Actually, I did have the Casey Musgraves Erewhon smoothie. Shit bangs.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Was so fucking good. It was so good.
Of course.
Thanks for buying that for me, Boo. I appreciate that. See how I had to distance myself from actually purchasing it?
Uh-huh.
I had to do that. You know, I gotta keep it clean over here.
The old ball and chain got it for you. Folks, my wife. I go and I hang out at these places and it's like fun. I enjoy the game. It's so stimulating to sit there and fucking run all the numbers constantly and see if you can, make the right moves and stuff. But like, then there's just like a fucking football game on TV and people that understand what's happening. And I'm not a sports guy at all. I don't know. Are you into any sports? Like, I don't know what's happening. Every year when the Super Bowl happens, I make Anders explain the rules of football to me again. And I learn them for a day and then I fucking forget what a first down is or whatever.
I grew up playing most sports. So I know the rules and all that stuff. I follow baseball pretty closely. I follow the Dodgers pretty closely. I used to follow hockey real hard, but the Ducks have sucked for years and they're like unwatchable. And so that's all I cared about. And then football is like a real blind spot for me because I played it growing up. And also I am that like asshole that looks down my nose at your Amazon Prime box, not your Amazon Prime box, but I do have that mentality. And I'm just not over the Kaepernick stuff.
Oh, I see.
And it blows my mind that we went from Kaepernick to Kendrick playing the halftime show, to the 30 for 30 Kaepernick documentary getting canned for HBO. That was gonna come out next month. It got canned.
Really?
And I think
that's insane.
They just recently they banned the rainbow stuff. They banned the pride jerseys and the pride accessories. They banned them this year.
Wow.
They made a statement about it, and it's they're just an evil company.
Yeah.
There's not many jobs where one of the side effects might be homicide, suicide in your family.
Right.
And that just happens to be one of them. There's all these things where I'm just it's so cool to watch highlights, but I can't not think about that stuff. And I kind of wish I wasn't that way because I remember enjoying football a lot, but that's all I can think about. Do you know about the extra helmet that they made?
So there's a bigger helmet.
So they made a helmet. They made basically a cover for the existing helmet, right? I'm gonna get the numbers wrong, but the gist is there. Okay.
Yeah.
This extra cover, it reduced concussions by something like 35%, some big number.
It's the Charlie Kirk Memorial helmet. It makes your head look huge.
Yeah.
6'7" is the number on the back.
But it looked goofy.
Yeah.
So you've never seen one. It's existed for like 2 seasons, and like it could save your life.
Yeah.
But like they're not making them wear them, because if they just made them wear them, we would just get used to it.
Yeah.
You know,
And if
like,
all of them had it, it would look normal. Like
there's-
on
they're
screen.
they're just like an evil company. And I can't get past it because like I don't know, I like loved playing football. I was really good at it actually in high school.
Really?
Yeah, I was like scouted and stuff for colleges and all that. I was like good at it. You know, I'm like a large dude who's pretty fast or whatever, super strong, like really handsome, so like really good football player. But yeah, just like all that stuff, I just can't get past it, and I wish I could. But it's just so evil to me.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff that's just like that's kind of the barrier to entry because it's so blatantly evil on its face. The
Now-
CTE stuff is like, I mean, really, they really don't. You're just disposable humans, you know.
Now, if I like lived in like Philadelphia or like Buffalo or like a city that had like this allegiance and this like cultural thing going on with their team, I wouldn't feel this way. But I live in Southern California where we don't have a real team. Los Angeles has 2 teams right now. One of them is from San Diego. One of them is from LA by way of St. Louis. Like there's no like loyalty in football in Southern California. So I think if I had that thing going on, I probably would be a football fan. But because I don't. Like that's why I love the Dodgers. There's like a weird like local pride thing. It's like, you know, there is something about that where I'm like, yeah, like LA, Southern California, like you know, the Jackie Robinson team, you know, the Fernando team, like the team that's progressive, like it feel good about it. But we don't have that in football here.
Right. Yeah. You know, that's another reason I think I never got into football. I lived in Houston briefly while the Oilers were a thing, and then they turned into the Houston Texans, which I always thought was a dumb name, and then they moved to Tennessee because of the Tennessee Titans. So we kind of like didn't really have that.
Oh,
you
know what? I remember the Titans.
Is it the name of a movie?
Yeah. Remember the Titans. Denzel.
Oh man, that took me a second.
Texas football? It's about football. I think it's about Texas. I think it's about Texas football.
I don't know because the thing is the Titans. So the Houston Oilers were the Oilers when I was a kid, and that's what my dad watched.
And that was a cool jersey, a cool helmet, even though it's about capitalism.
Everything is about capitalism.
But like an oil rig's pretty on the nose.
Oh yeah. I mean, fucking every mascot's like that. They're all evil. That is really funny actually. I never thought about that. That's like they're
supposed to be scary.
Blood shit. Yeah.
They do like a commemorative one that's a milkshake.
Yeah. I drink your Aerowater milkshake. $26. Drink it up. So my dad used to sit like in his recliner and watch the fucking Oilers, and like he loved them, and then they like made them into the Texans, and he still called them the Oilers when they were the Texans, and then they moved. Wait, did I get this right? At some point in this, I think they might have made the Texans after they moved, because the Oilers, that like franchise, like the team itself, they moved it to Tennessee.
Yeah,
it became Tennessee Oilers, and then Titans. I think eventually it's Titans, and he refused to acknowledge that they were the Tennessee Titans because he was so mad that they took his football team away. So he would just sort of like be in this dissociative psychological state in the living room watching the Tennessee Titans play and going, the Oilers are doing really good today. And it's like, that's not, it says on the screen a different name. Like, the Oilers are having a great game. Oh, the Oilers lost. Like, he just wouldn't accept that it wasn't the fucking Oilers. Because the local thing like matters with the sports. I get it. I don't even understand. Go ahead.
I do love that thing that happens though when that happens with sports teams, because it forces these people to confront what they're actually invested in. It's like, oh, actually, by the way, the Oilers don't give a fuck about you. The owners did not give a fuck about you, and they left. And then so now, do you have loyalty to that franchise team, or do you just have loyalty to their? If like your quarterback gets traded at the same time it gets transferred, do you follow your quarterback to that new team? You know, like what is you have to kind of confront this thing that you're invested in that you think is like, you know, bigger than money exchanging hands. But at the end of the day, they could just like everything else in this world, they could just take it away from you.
I think this is like another reason that as like a young, like anarcho-minded kid, I was like, wait, but they don't like us. Like they'll just go work somewhere else and they'll pretend that they really love Utah or whatever. And it's like not connected to us at all.
They will fire your best friend, aka the you know, linebacker who has your same last name and you identify with for that reason.
Yeah. So how do you, at that point, I feel like that disrupts like what's going on with the actually feeling connected to it thing. Because like soccer is like kind of different in that regard, where like the way it works in the rest of the world is it's really connected to where you're from. And you know, if a team, I don't know, this is broad strokes. I don't know exactly how shit works either because I'm not a fucking soccer fan either. But somebody explain.
Oh, don't worry. I know football. You go ahead.
Oh,
I'll help it out if we need to talk football.
Football, yeah. Like if you're, depending on how well you do in a season, your team is or isn't still in like a fucking league or a tier or whatever, and it like affects the town you're in and shit. That makes more sense than the hyper capitalistic thing where it's just like Shaquille O'Neal no longer loves you. He's going to Los Angeles.
Bad example. Shaquille O'Neal will always love us.
Okay. Well, not if you're Miami, right? Do you think he still loves?
No, the thing is whether well, he did both. He did both actually.
Was he on the Heat?
He was on the Heat. Yeah, he had a run on the Heat.
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, he was the Orlando Magic, and then
the the Lakers, and he went somewhere else for a minute, but then he ended up on the Heat. The Suns, he was on the Suns for a minute. He had a crazy career. He's like wild. But the thing about Shaquille O'Neal though is it doesn't matter where he's breaking backboards, you know. DJ Shaq Diesel tours. Steel is always steel. Because Kazam, I'm doing the thing, aren't I?
You're doing the thing, yeah.
I'm doing the thing. Is it Shazam?
Wait, no, I think Kazam
it's Kazam.
Might be the real
it is Kazam.
One. Yeah,
it is Kazam. Yeah. That movie will always exist, you know. So Shaquille O'Neal will always love us.
What's the fake one?
They think that there's one starring God damn it, what's his name?
Sinbad or something?
Sinbad. Yeah, they think there's one starring Sinbad. And I think that's because his name kind of already sounds like a genie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Sinbad's one of the people that, as like a large, light-skinned, especially now mustachioed man, people tell me I look like Sinbad a lot, which that's I mean, because we all know Sinbad is unique looking. Yeah, we'll say. And yeah, that always kind of. There's some that I'll take that I'll like, you know, that's a handsome person, and not that Sinbad's not handsome, but I think Sinbad had to learn how to feel handsome, for sure.
I don't think you look like Sinbad, but I do think if you like wanted to be Sinbad for Halloween, you could make it happen
translate,
with the clothes and shit. Yeah. But you don't just look like him.
Do some freckles.
Mustache, though. We gotta get
the mustache.
We have to get thin mustaches if we're gonna reconnect with the Zoomers.
Yeah,
and get the Charlie Kirk audience.
One time, my dad met Sinbad at a shoe store, and Sinbad was like, "Oh, cool, you're buying the same shoes I'm buying," but Sinbad was also buying like 15 other pairs of shoes, and my dad was buying the one. It was funny.
Wait, your dad met Sinbad at a shoe store?
Yeah.
And he was buying a shit ton of shoes?
He was buying a shit ton of shoes.
His wardrobe is crazy. That makes sense.
Yeah. And, you know, he has that kind of money where it's like, you know, they buy like, they'll just go buy like 10 pairs of all white Air Force Ones because you only wear them once, which is just one day I'll have. That's what when I finally. So this kind of sucks because my whole plan was to finally do my right wing pivot with this show. But then unfortunately, you know, Charlie got, and so I had to kind of expose myself so early. But the first thing I was going to do when I did that was do an Amazon Prime subscription where every other day I got a new pair of Air Force Ones delivered to my house.
Yeah.
But now it's gonna have to wait.
Get 2 Air Force Ones delivered on 9/11 directly to your door. One after the other, 9 in the morning.
Exactly. And then you get a bonus pair in the back of your house. People deliver to the front, and one's delivered
to like
back.
your neighbor kind of. Yeah.
One's to your PO box or something, you know.
Yeah. Lore in the stand-up comedy world is that Sinbad is like incredibly good at stand-up. I know that sounds crazy because you watch stand-up and you're like, well, I can just judge it by watching it. Like, what is the funniest? But what I mean is like methodical. Like people that go on the road with him would say like he just like takes note of everything in conversation, never stops talking, and you go do a show and he like has all this material. And then you say something funny about like a pancake when you're at a diner the next morning, and he like kind of just is talking about it for a minute. Next thing you know, you're watching him play the next show in the next town. He's got 45 minutes about this pancake thing. Like he would have a new hour like every time he perform.
Yeah, I've always heard he's like a legend. Like he's just fucking good at it. Because I always remember I remember seeing his stand up and being very funny, seeing him on like Def Comedy Jam and stuff like that growing up.
Yeah.
And he also did that thing where he like he had the ability to work clean a lot. Like a lot of stuff wasn't like crazy. And like that's pretty crazy in that space, especially. It was like, I remember him being like a really impressive dude. He's still around, right? He's still around, yeah.
That's one of those
he better
one of those
be.
ones that makes you furrow your eyebrow and cock your head and go, is he still?
Is he? I think so.
I feel like we would know.
I feel like I would remember being sad if he he's still going on. Oh, guess how old he is?
6'7",
68.
Ah, damn it, so close. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Oh man. Well, Jake, thanks for gabbing with me for an hour. I really appreciate it. Do you want to let the people know where to find you?
Of course. If you want to hear if you want to hear a lot about Charlie Kirk this weekend, you can listen to my little leftist comedy podcast about the news that I do with my friend Anders Lee. It's called Pod Damn America. It's a joke about Pod Save America and the Reverend Wright speech where he says God damn America. You probably know that, like we've discussed. And I'm at Feral Jokes on everything on the internet, on fucking Twitter, on Blue Sky, on Instagram. And I think I have a live show coming up if you're in Los Angeles on the 19th. I'm on a show called XYZ Cabaret, which is like, it's a queer, crazy, weird, burlesque, backyard wrestling sort of
super
live
fun.
show.
It's super fun.
But if you're scared of seeing a tit or whatever, then don't go to it. Just know what you're getting into. But it's a very fun show. It's at Coyote Studios. So I'll put all that stuff up on my socials. But hey, Tony, always a pleasure to hang out, man, anytime. And my cat Murray says hello. Hello, everyone.
Oh, hi, Murray. We love Murray. Murray's a real one. It's really appropriate that you ended up being the first guest on the show. You were one of the first ones to believe in MDC back in the day. You were one of the first real podcasters to really be like, all right, we'll give these crazy guys a shot. And so glad you did. So glad you did.
You guys
so glad
blew
they were
the fuck up too.
Yeah, we had a moment. We had a moment for sure.
We're gonna fucking make it happen all over again, baby. It's we're not old.
No, we got. I think this is gonna be good. I'm real excited about it. I'm excited to talk shit with my friends. Please come back. I'll see you guys next week. If you haven't done it already, check out the Patreon, wordisbondtv.com. Go ahead and sign up there. I am doing like the first month right now. You can get full access for lifetime for $3. After this first month, that is getting jacked up. Unfortunately, thanks Biden. Like, this is his fault. I want you guys to know that it's not my fault. It has to be that way. I'm also offering sticker packs at the $5 and $10 levels. Some really cool little stickers that I whipped up. Something I think would look really good on any water bottle, any car, any restroom. I think there's some good stickers in there. I'm real excited about this. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll be seeing you around. Peace.
667. 6667. God,
6667.
right? I brought a new thing.
Dunzo. Love it. Peace.